Okay, I had to really just jump on here real quick because there are so many people who feel like, okay, once you cheat, once there's infidelity involved in a relationship, you can't rebuild the trust. You can't get that trust back. There's so many people out there that believe that. I mean, you might be one of them. And I'm not saying I condone cheating. I'm not, but I also don't judge people's actions either. But I do know for a fact that even though infidelity is a hard pill to swallow, you have to figure out what's going to work best for your relationship. But infidelity is a hard pill to swallow. And yes, you can go back to the loving, passionate, desirable relationship, trusting relationship that you had before the infidelity took place. Is it easy? No. Does it take work? Yes. Can you put a band-aid on it and magically in 2 months you're back to that place of love and trust? No. It takes effort from both people. This is not a one-sided situation. Both people have to put the effort in, and that's where the disconnect is. It's hard. It requires effort for an extended amount of time. It requires uncomfortability, uncomfortable conversations about the act, revisiting the act. That's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to talk about it. You know, you feel that pain, you feel that hurt, that anger, all that stuff flushes back when you start talking about the infidelity. And then the person, who committed the act, they start feeling blamed and angry. And they start feeling like, okay, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to revisit a situation where I didn't look good. I didn't show up in the best way in my relationship. But there are so many people out there that are like, no, you cannot rebuild trust. And I'm just like, okay, you can, but it's not for the weak. I'm just going to say that it's not for the weak because it takes some effort. And I'm going to actually tell you how, because I'm just like, what? That I know there are so many couples that have restored their relationship from infidelity, and not in just the way of, oh, well, I feel insecure being alone, so I'm settling for this relationship even though they cheated. Or not just in the way of, maybe I lack a little self-confidence and maybe I won't find anybody better, so I'm just settling in this relationship. Not in the way of that. In the way of, okay, this infidelity happened. We were angry. I thought about leaving. I didn't want to see your face anymore. I needed some time apart. I moved out. All of the stuff and the things. And they still were able to reconcile and restore their relationship back to how it was before the infidelity, which I know that sounds like a magic pill, but it just takes work. So I'm just going to tell you how. It's not, I got three starter ways that you can start yourself on that journey if you're going through this right now. Because I know, that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I'm sure there's some of you out there that are actually going through the infidelity right now, and you're like, okay, I can't do this. And if you can't, that's fine. But if you want to move forward, if you feel like, okay, I want to try to move through this and to recover from this and reconcile with this person that I love, then listen up. Okay, first, we need to find out the reason behind the cheating. There's always a reason. Like I said, I'm not condoning cheating, but I'm also not judging people for their actions. There's always an underlying reason why somebody has done anything. Cheating is included. So it's like, it could be habitual. Is this person just doing it for the thrill? Could it be that their needs aren't being met in the home, so they actively went out to go seek someone to get their needs met? Could it be that they don't know how to verbalize how they actually feel? And they went out one day and their needs are being met in some bar by some stranger and they had a moment of weakness. It is multitude of reasons. So we need to figure out the why, so we can have a conversation with your partner. Why did you cheat? What was going on in our relationship where you felt like you needed to step out? Was it a specific person? Was this something that was planned? Was this something that happened on multiple occasions? When it did happen, what were you thinking about when you went out? Was it revenge? Let's figure out why this happened. 2. So, how do you want to feel moving forward? Because we have to figure that out. Because what happens is the infidelity happens, there might be some apologies, but moving forward, we're still angry, we're still frustrated, we still feel betrayed, we're still hurt. But the only thing that we're doing about any of that is sitting in silence and suffering in silence. We might say, I want to share your location with me. We might bombard them with questions. What are you doing? Who you're with? Where you're going to be? When are you going to be home? Is that helping you feel better? Like long term? And you might be checking their text messages to make sure that everything is friendly going on in that. But is that helping you feel better long term? Like, how do you want to feel? Like, in that moment, you're angry, you're sad, you're frustrated, you have no trust, you feel betrayed. So how would you rather feel instead? You want that trust back. You want to be happy with your significant other. You want to feel secure in your relationship. You want that happiness and that joy back, right? Okay, cool. Now that we figured out how we feel, how we want to feel, now we're going to figure out what actions need to take place in order for us to feel that way. Because I guarantee you the action that needs to take place isn't following them on Google Maps for 3 hours while they're out of the house. And again, I'm not judging. If you are that person that's like, I feel better knowing where you are you going to be following them with this shared location? How long are you going to be doing that for before you actually heal from the pain of the infidelity? Is that helping you heal from that? So that's 3. What actions need to be taken in order for you to feel that joy, that trust, that security, that happiness? And talk to your partner about that. Hey, I want to move forward. This is what I need. And in that conversation, 4, set the expectations with your partner. Okay, these are the actions that I feel that will help us along in this relationship, that will help me regain security and trust and the happiness that I felt in this relationship beforehand, before this happened. So how can we work together to make this happen? You have to be in agreement, because setting that expectation allows you both to be able to agree on what are the moves going forward. So now when you leave the house, we know what's to be expected. You have to set that expectation. So I could go on and have a list of like 30 things on here, but for the sake of time, start with that. But also, here, you know what? I'm going to add another one. 5, you have to learn how to let it go, because that anger, if you're trying to move forward, if you're trying to heal from this, if you're trying to get your joy back and restore your relationship, you have to reconcile first. But in order for restoration to happen, you can't keep bringing it up at a future date either. And this happens in relationships, bringing the infidelity back up, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, because it wasn't dealt with. It wasn't talked about. Things hadn't changed. They're still feeling pain from that incident. So they're bringing it up. You can't, once you decide you're going to move forward, talk everything out and don't bring it up again. Don't bring it up in an argument as a jab. Just release that anger, let that go, because that anger is going to hold on to you, because forgiveness is a gift, not only for you, but it's a gift for your partner. So learn how to let that grudge go. If you can't do that, then don't even bother moving forward, because that right there is going to make reconciliation even harder. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I'm like, there are so many people out there that are just like, trust can't be restored after infidelity. And I'm just like, if you don't want to work on the relationship after infidelity, that is one thing. You know, you feel so betrayed that you don't want to move on in this relationship. Fine. That is absolutely your prerogative. Do that. But to say that trust cannot be restored, that you can't rebuild it, that you can't get the trust back that you had before the infidelity, I beg to differ. So I just wanted to hop on here, share that with y'all, share those couple of tips. If you guys want more tips, I go live every Tuesday in my private Facebook group. It's called The Relationship Recharge. So if you want more tips like this to help strengthen your relationship, check me out over there. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.